So it's currently 12 and I have 1 hour to prepare for the 24-hour run. I had to prepare a lot of things last night, so I unpacked a lot of things, so now it all has to go back into their respective bags and suitcase. I figured out I took the wrong SD card for my GoPro, so I quickly have to go to the city, but I think it's also nice that this run is also just very city based. People ask me why I'm not doing a trail instead, but I think for my first ultra I do really prefer having all the facilities nearby. I'm not sure if I'm gonna speak English. There are gonna be a lot of internationals and I'm trying to make a good video on this, even though I'm not the right person to be talking about this. I might speak Dutch, might be easier. I also get very tired, so I won't have energy to think. Goal wise, on the long term I would really love to do 100 miles within 24 hours. That's also what I'm gonna aim today, but I know that I'm not trained enough to reach that goal. So the goal I will be hopefully reaching is 125 kilometers, but in the end I will be happy enough if I get to the 24 hours mark. So that's kind of my ABC goal, with A being very unrealistic, but I'm gonna do an attempt anyways because it is quite a walking pace, but I don't know how I'll feel at hour 18. Half an hour to the start. I am nervous. I feel very out of place, but at least my tent is set up.
Op het YouTube-kanaal. De bankzitters. De enige ploeg vandaag in ons midden, maar niet alleen vandaag, maar ook morgen gaat het de vrouwen goed door. Het finishje we uitdrukkelijk en bij de vrouwen Alexandra Wazik. Start, schot, heet, geklonken. En dan zien we gelijk dat de bankzitters de handelen. De rukjes gaan er al hoog in de lucht. Dat zal geen 24 uur gaan duren, dat is iets wat ik u beloof. Vanaf deze plek en dan gaat dat hele pak met ultra-atleten hier over dat Tom Dumoulin Bikepark. Allemaal in hun eigen tempo.
58 minutes in, I'm at 8.5 kilometers. I promised myself to eat something every hour. So 2 hours in, we're at 16.7 kilometers. I've been pretty consistent and I hope to keep this consistency for the next 4 hours at least. The sun is setting nicely, so I'm gonna take the GoPro out and go on a little tour. So I actually realized I didn't really introduce this event, so as I filmed this entire loop, I might as well just explain a little more about this day. I'm trying to eat every hour, so filled my bag with croissants. I'm just immediately gonna note that this little corner has a small incline. At hour 18 it's pretty heavy, so a lot of people hike on this, but it's also very doable to run. So this event takes place in Sittard, a small city in the southern part of the Netherlands. This is considered a cycling park, but it's kind of free to use outside of reserved and closed trainings. So the loop we're running is 2 kilometers long, to be more exact 2029 meters, and it actually has a bronze label in the ultra events. I'm not very familiar with these labels, but maybe this is important for those that do ultra running more professionally. So this event is organized by SQM, time tracking company for running events, but also cycling and other activities. And you can tell this event was very precisely organized. So this is the second edition. Last year there were like 35 people running the 24 event, but this time 77 started. I know by heart that 95 originally were on the starting list, but with these kinds of events, anything can happen. So now I'm running by the main aid station. So as you can see, there are the toilets, there's the first aid, and also just all the snacks and drinks. There was a lot of choice. I didn't really clearly zoom in on the options, but there was always something that I did like. For example, oranges. I really love oranges during running. Between 6 and 8 there was also pasta. You also see me eat this later. And I think there's also something in the morning, but I didn't need it, so I didn't bother. I love oranges during the race. Drinks, cold drinks, white, there's water, there was Tailwind and Coca-Cola. I drank a lot of Coca-Cola, something I didn't knew I really liked while running. I think using this aid station was a little more convenient because I personally had a lot of things still in packaging. So I really like this course. I'm showing a picture of how this course looks like. And as you can see, you're not literally running in circles, and there's a lot of straight parts that you can just run straight ahead. Every corner had a timing mat, so you couldn't really cut off the course, but I don't think this is kind of the audience that would be cutting the course. But it was still nice because I think these also would add on your distance live in the live tracker. Not sure, could have imagined this. So this was at 6 p.m. Very nice weather, very sunny as well. There was rain expected, so that's something to deal with later. A little bit windy, and I think last year that was also the main challenge. In the middle of this circle there was some skate ramps, so there were also a lot of children that were with their crew that would just play here, also just on those hilly parts. There's this video of them figuring out the course for this ultra race, where they also climbed this big hill. So I'm very glad that they didn't include that in this race. So I really enjoyed this course. I saw it as the 4 straight parts, and in between you have these corners. The first straight part is the start and all the personal aid stations. The second straight part has the main aid station. The third one that I'm running now, you could just really focus on your own pace. And the fourth one is already the last before you get back to the start. So here is a slight incline. It's not steeper than the first one, but still a little bit significant. But then you also have this downhill in the later hours. Quite risky to run off. but still nice to just let yourself go. So in the first few hours, I was really unsure about the etiquette during this race. I mean, as you can see, the paths are very broad, so there's enough room for everyone to just move around. But you can tell that the faster runners will take the inner corner, which makes sense. And that's also pretty much why I have 4 kilometers more than my official result. Of course, there's the GPS accuracy, but the 2029 meters is of course measured from the shortest distance, and I tended to walk a lot of the outer rings. So this park is next to the train tracks. I actually came by train, and it was about 20 minutes walking from the train station to this park. There's also just free parking, so there are a lot of facilities and it's very easily reachable. That's also just, again, a thing why I don't feel ready to do ultra trail, because they tend to be in forests, hard to reach by public transport. So I found this to be pretty much the perfect event as a first ultra. And this is kind of unrelated to this event, but a lot of ultra events and trail events are on Saturday. Most of the times I have to work on Saturday. I actually had to try my best to get this day off. So I'm not sure how much I'll be running other ultras and trails. So as you can see, the sun is setting, but this entire loop will be lighted up once it gets dark, so there's also no need for headlamps. Very brightly as well, so that was nice personally for my cameras. And the funny thing was, when I was in my tent, it just felt like it was still day because the lights were so bright. So I must say around 3, 4, 5 a.m. I also didn't really know what time it was. So I didn't really zoom in on it, but on the left, they have some fancier flushable toilets as well as showers. I didn't make use of them. It's nice that they added that this year. They also have a tap for drink water. So we're approaching the start line, which also has the timing mat that's connected to this big screen where you can see how many laps you've done, what your placement is, and how much you've ran to this point. Also has clocks, also countdown clocks for the smaller events, the 1 hour, 3 hour, 12 hour, 6 hours. So that was always just a nice way to keep grounded every round. So once we enter the arch, you get all the personal aid stations. If you can't bring anything, there are tables on the left where the black tents are, where you can place your stuff. But a lot of people brought their campers, RVs, tents, and some people brought their crews, some people didn't. So I got there pretty late, so the park already opened at 1 p.m. At 2 p.m. you can get your bibs. I arrived at 2:30, so I was pretty much all the way in the back, which I didn't mind because the atmosphere is a little calmer. As you can see here, there are two sides. A lot of people made me anxious, especially as a first timer. So up until where I started this little tour and the big screen, there are no timing mats. So you can move freely to get to the showers, for example, or get fresh tap water. But since I'm all the way in the back, this is already 200 meters. It would be a lot for me to walk back. So I would go to the flushable toilets, for example, after I hit the timing mat, and then just continue walking to the tent. So that was one entire loop of this course that I would see at least 50 more times. Three hours in, 25 kilometers. Tiredness is definitely kicking in, but it's way too early to say I'm tired. So let's just make it to the 6-hour mark and get some pasta in a few rounds. It's 19:19. Time for food. 4 hours in, past the 32, 33k mark. Legs are getting tired, but got enough energy. Got some candy. We're 5 hours in at almost a marathon distance at 41.2. I think I just continue to the 6-hour mark and then have a good snack time. Also just message some people and just take a good rest. So it's been 6 hours. A little frustrated that I didn't get to the 50, but at the same time I told myself to take a break at 6 hours, so that's kind of the priority right now. I'm surprised I'm holding on to the 4-1 interval this long. I'm gonna try 2 more hours with it, and then probably go to 3-1. Gonna get some food in, gonna message some people, walk. Not sure if I want to, because I actually really like this format, but at the same time we're only 1/4 in. Anyways, gonna take a good break. I'll see you later. Alright, 50k is in. I think my watch says 50 at least. 8 hours in and I'm getting very tired. I don't want to sit down, so I'm kind of awkwardly hunched over here, waiting for my mom and brother to arrive so they can have proper stools I can sit on, because if I sit here again, I don't know what happens when I stand up. It's raining, maybe that will feel good, but it's time to keep going. We're 8 hours in. I tried to delay switching to a different interval as long as possible. Ran 8 hours on 4-1 and it's time to switch to 3-1. I really want to. I hope I can make it. I shouldn't worry because getting to 100 miles is a very tough goal. I don't think I can make it, but it felt good to be on the 100-mile pace. "10 hours in. Oh, and my body is hurting. I'm not gonna deny that. I really didn't want to go to sleep, but I feel like at some point today I will. Not sure when. Preferably after another 6 hours. But at this point I can't predict anything. At 11 hours. And I can't be bothered to run right now. So I would love to take a break at hour 12, which is less than an hour away. But because my family came at 9, hour 9, I don't feel like I should be taking a break and should just continue until I hit 100k, because then at least that's in. But I'm so exhausted. So I told myself I wouldn't lay down or take naps for 11 hours, and 45 minutes in, I got here at like 11 and a half hours, and I just really need to lay down. Me being outside, attempting to running has been very unproductive. Walking also starting to hurt. And while I really wanted to go for the 100 kilometers checkpoint, it would have taken like 3 to 4 hours, and I just can't. I'm gonna try to take a nap, laying on the hard ground on top of my clothes, also being covered by my clothes. I mean, I'm having a good time, but at this point it's pretty much self-torture, and I feel like I'm pretty much throwing away good parts of the race. I finally got on the top 50 that by laying here I have a chance to lose, and I don't have the stamina to work towards better placement. At this point I don't even know what I'm caring about. 125 is still pretty much my goal, and I feel like with the remaining 12 hours I could at least get 100, get 125, get as far as I want to. I really hate to be laying here before the 12-hour mark, because when I wake up I pretty much have almost half of the race still left. But I guess that's how things go, right? Nutrition wise, I bought way too much food. The thing is, what did I expect being undertrained participating this? I'm getting pretty far, but it also hurts, which is to be expected. But I'm gonna take a rest, hopefully feel better in like an hour. I hate to be here for an hour, but I really hope to feel better after that. I just woke up from an hour nap. I kind of feel embarrassed about sleeping, but I do feel mentally better. I don't feel as tired. I'm not sure if my legs agree, because I feel like as soon as I'm gonna walk, it's gonna hurt. Right as I woke up, it's been raining pretty hard. It might be just from being in the tent that it's a little louder. My watch wasn't apparently charging. It's charging fast, so at least once I go out I do have enough battery. I already got dressed, and since we're heading into the 13th hour, I'm finally gonna listen music, and I'm specifically gonna listen to Taylor's new songs that I really wanted to save for the 13th hour. So that's fun. Main focus now is getting to 100 kilometers. I'm currently at 78. If I run 6 kilometers per hour, it's gonna be 3 hours, a little bit over 3 hours. I don't think I have the energy anymore to run 4 laps in 1 hour. I mean, we've got 11 hours left, so there's definitely time enough to be moving. So I hope my legs work along, and let's get back out there in this rain. I'm gonna wear my coat. 53rd place, 39 laps, 79 kilometers, 1:57 for the last lap. I've got some catching up to do. Right, we're 14 hours in. I'm currently at like 81 or 83 kilometers. About to get 83, I think. Currently I'm just listening to the era set list. I was thinking when it ends, when it's done, would have reached 100, but still not happening. Oh, this is such a drag. "15 hours in, back to daylight, and I'm about to hit 89 kilometers. I can't run anymore. I tried, but I just can't. I really hope I can make it to the 125, but even that's in jeopardy right now. Hour 16 and it's raining again. I can't run anymore. I feel sleepy again. I feel like I'm gonna take another nap after 100. This time actually after reaching the 100. I think I'm currently at 91. So that means still 9 kilometers to go, which is 4 rounds. And then at the right hand, you have the 100k mark. I'm so tired. I'm giving myself until 10 a.m. to reach the 100 because then the last 6 hours start. I'm literally 2.5 rounds away from 100 kilometers, but I keep falling asleep while walking. That's not safe, so I'm just gonna take a quick nap to avoid falling asleep while I cross the 100. Oh my god, I am suffering. I mean, I'm definitely gonna cross the 100k mark, but I'm not sure if I can get any running done in the last 6 hours, and that would make the last 6 hours go by very slowly. Very sunny weather. 6-hour event has started. We're 18 hours in, which means less than 6 hours left. My Garmin already says I covered 100 kilometers. And this is the last lap, the last full lap I have to do before I get to the 100. I'm not sure how much I'm gonna cover after that. I currently run at a 1 minute run, 2 minutes walk interval. Seems to be working, so I hope to keep that up for the rest of the day. Eindelijk 100. So we're heading into the 19th hour, which means 5 hours left. Once I cross the start line, I'll be at 103 kilometers. 5 kilometers per hour is walking speed. So hopefully, with a little bit of pushing, I can still make it to the 125. Having a hard time choosing clothing because it's very sunny, but also very windy. And when walking, it's kind of cold. Right, 20th hour, which means less than 4 hours left. My right foot is starting to hurt, but I'm trying to keep the one running interval going. Currently at 110, I think. There is some progress happening, and who knows, I can place myself in the top 40. Who knows? That's 3 hours. My right foot is hurting really badly. I'm trying to make it work. This is my favorite corner because it's the closest one to the finish. And the view is actually pretty nice. It's currently 2 p.m, which is less than 2 hours to go. I'm so glad when this is all over. I'm currently at 119, so I need 3 more loops, which would take me an hour, a little more over an hour. So there's enough slack. Boyfriend is coming soon, so the next 2 hours are gonna be quite something. I can't wait to be sitting in the car seat probably sleeping. Less than 1 hour. I'm finally getting at 1:25.
Nummer 3. Jan de Dijsser, want we hebben er veel. Stalige karakters hebben ze nog altijd. 2500 zijn op C6 Ultra. 15.7. Annekie. 125,8 op dit moment.
Now that I've reached my goal and still there's 15 minutes left, I'm just gonna be for sure and pack my finishing package, I guess. So the GoPro is come with me. This thing is coming with me, as well as my phone, because of course we gotta take some social media pics. So it's the last half an hour, last 44 minutes. I think I'm a little short of 130 kilometers, which would have been a nice number, but then I should have put my goal on 130 instead of 125. My legs are hurting a lot, so I don't think I can run a lot more. So this is just a celebratory round. I might just walk this round. I'll see. Okay, it means I have to run now. I'll definitely try to run in the last 10 minutes. Last 5 minutes probably. I don't think I can run for more than 2 minutes. Okay. Ik zit nu op 129 of zo. Ik ga volgens mij even net onder de 130. Of 170, 170, 129. Op mijn horloge staat er 133 zo. 6 minutes to go. Let's see how far further I can get. Hopefully past all the instant shit. 129. Oh, maybe I can make it to the 130.
Van die in totaal gelopen 24 uur. Heeft hij voor het beste waar. Dit is Annekie. 129,8. 130 kan in ieder geval bereikt worden.
Adrenaline. I mean, the announcer says I will at least have 130. I'll believe him. No walking right now. Okay, 2 minutes of running. I can do this. I can do this.
En het kaartje met erop het nummer neerlegt op de positie waar u zichzelf bevindt. Ja, de laatste ronde is dit. Het tweede hoofdapplaus voor die nummer 3. Op die 24 uur, dames en heren. Huub van de Molen.
Oh my god, I did it. I did it. I did it. Oh, that was quite the experience. I'm not gonna do this next year, but maybe in the future again. Gonna still get 100 miles. Goodbye, little tag. This is currently the fastest I can get to the car, which is very slow. Yeah, my feet are angry with me for that last sprinting part. Well, this has been a very fun event.